Ashley, what's going on? There we go. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Hey, we did it.
Sorry.
No, you're totally good. How's things going for you today?
They're going. They've been a little unexpected at moments, but good.
Right. That's what life's all about, right?
Sure.
Unexpected
is.
moments.
Yeah.
So cool. Tell me a little bit about yourself. Like, what are we currently doing, and what do we want to be doing?
Well, I actually stumbled on the Instagram last night, and I was just kind of looking around at some things. So I don't know who I was talking to exactly. But they got to know a little bit about me. I guess my thing of it is like I was telling them, I've done a couple different jobs. Right now, I got diagnosed with some health issues like insomnia and stuff like that, which has just made it difficult to have a complete job, and I've had to give up my full-time job that I was working at. So now like I'm just home. And I do have a 14, he'll be 15 soon, in a few months, son. So it's like one of those things where I'm just trying to kind of reground myself and regroup and think of things out of the box and do something that I love to do.
I love that. Cool. So how long ago did you have to stop your full-time job?
I stopped my full-time job at the end of January. And so I actually took a couple months off just with my doctors. And so then I tried going back to work a few weeks ago, and it just didn't pan out, whether it wasn't a good fit for me or a good fit on their behalf. But I just feel like it was a mutual thing. And
Yeah.
so I'm actually home. So it's one of those things where I'm like, okay, this is not working for me. There's something else I need to do. And like I told whoever I talked to last night, like I'm very much into yoga, like meditation, like those kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely enjoy doing any of that. So like I felt kind of out of place, to be honest with you. And I was looking at more of the Instagram stuff. And I was like, listen, I'm not like this big health, nut. I'm not. I do obviously do watch what I eat very strictly. But it's at the point where that I was like, and then he started asking me more questions. I was like, I don't know. I'm not sure. So he kind of like was like, hey, let me sign you up to meet one of our people. You talk to them, then you make that call.
Yeah,
So
100%. So what we do is we help people that have a passion for health and fitness turn it into an actual online business. So we help people start from the very ground zero level and help them scale all the way up to anywhere between 10 to 20K per month, whatever their goal is, right? So we're talking about pre-launch systems such as like setting up your payment operation systems, systems for you to be able to for people to book calls with you, applications that you can upload your programming and your nutrition onto. And then we even set up things to like help you get up your LLC, which is your financial system, to make sure that you're like a legitimate business, right? We help you get your first couple. We help you teach you how to get your first couple of clients. And then there's a lot of it. A lot of it is about like marketing and sales. So like really how to get yourself out there, how to utilize all three platforms in order to get people, attracted to you and wanting to do business with you. And then also teaching you how to reach out to other people on an organic basis is essentially what we do. And then we also have an optional certification. So if you don't have a certification, we actually provide that for you at no additional charge. But what it at least allows you to do is have a little bit more confidence. It allows you to feel like more qualified, things of that nature. Is that something that you're looking to kind of do?
Definitely like more of like that, but like with a yoga standpoint, because that's what I'm into, if that makes sense.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I don't have, like, I'll be honest with you, I'm currently still married. And he's very much a health buff, like very much.
Yeah.
Got all kinds of stuff. And so it's one of those things where we just have different things. And he's like, I feel like you're more like a spiritual, and I'm more like, and I was like, yes, you are. So I feel like I told him last night, I was like, I feel like this is something that you would like obviously do, and I'm just on the other spectrum. And so I didn't know, like I told them last night, I didn't know if that would make me a good fit or not a good fit. So
100%. You don't have to be this huge group. The main thing is we want to figure out a way to like have a specific need. So some basic generalized nutritional guidelines, plans that involve yoga or meditation, you could easily do, right? Again, it's going to be totally dependent upon what you want to do. The other cool thing is you and your husband.
oh, I can't hear you. You're going in and out.
Can you hear me okay now?
Yeah, I can hear you. You just freezing and going in and out. And I was like, wait, I want to hear what you had to say.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
So I said what you could do is you and your husband could run this together, where one side of the spectrum, he is working with like more health gurus or health nuts that really want to like build muscle, whatever the case may be. And then you guys could offer a secondary service as well as someone to where you're working on more of the meditation, holistic side of things as well. So you could almost do this as like one big thing if you wanted to.
Okay, yeah.
Does that sound like something that would kind of be in alignment with what you'd be looking for?
To a point, I kind of want to do, like, I want to do it on my own, just because we have talked about divorce. And so that was kind of where I'm at now. Like, that's where I feel bad. Whoever I talked to last night, I knew it was Chad or whoever. But literally, like, I opened up and was like, listen, like, here's kind of where my life's at, and here's where I'm at. And I feel like I don't want to say I'm at the bottom of the barrel, but I just feel like I told them, I feel like I'm restarting, regrounding, new mindset, like new path. So I feel like that's kind of where I'm at, but that's where, like I told you, I'm more like yoga, that kind of thing. So that was why when I kept mentioning that yesterday, they're like, listen, you just need to talk to someone and get some more clarification whether you'd feel confident. And I said, well, I'm a person that I want to know the how, why, when, where, and how it works and understand it before I jump full throttle and up in something. So
yeah, 100%. So we'll go over like a lot of the details. So you had mentioned right now, you feel like kind of like bottom of the barrel, you're restarting, which is not necessarily a bad thing, right? This could really just be an opportunity in disguise waiting for you to take action. There's going to be some people that, will make a move or take action based upon where their goals are at, where they see themselves in the future, like what their vision is. And there's going to be some people that don't take any action based upon their current circumstances. So if you feel like you're at the bottom of the barrel, this is probably a great opportunity to take an opportunity to move out of the bottom of the barrel and get you to a spot where you can have, more financially free, more time, more independence, and then have the ability to work from home to where you're not having to work under a normal 9-to-5, right? So a
right.
lot of it's going to be based upon how much you prioritize this. If you're going to treat this like a career, you'll get paid like one. But if you treat this like a passion project or a hobby, you're not really going to get paid like you're going to want to, right? Now, at your previous job, what were you making a month? Like, what would we need to be making a month to replace that?
At my last job that I worked the longest, that was kind of where I felt why I felt at the bottom of the barrel is because I was making $22, $23 an hour.
Okay.
And so I feel like that was why, with the world how it is today, is why me and my current husband we still live together, we still have a child, but it's like I told him, we neither one can afford just to, you know, just to go off on our own. So it's one of those things where right now with COVID and how everything was, we have just stayed put to make sure financial wise for either one of us and our child, this is where we're at.
Yeah,
So to me,
100%.
that's kind of where I felt. And then I felt, I don't want to say worse, but I felt a little defeated, like knowing, okay, now I have this sleeping disorder and some other things. And I really told him, I said, it'd be so nice if I could get something where, I can be here, I can be accessible to my child, or even if I was to have, like I told him, the financial freedom to go live by myself and get my own place, to still have that financial freedom to do for our child.
Yeah, 100%. So, you know what? I can resonate with what's going on now. Was I married to the person that you are? I was in a predicament to where I was living with someone on the means of financially, like I had to do it. Otherwise, I'd be, shit out of luck. Right. And it kind of sounds like, if I'm hearing correctly, that you and him are in that spot where you're like, I don't necessarily want to be with you, but I have to in order to be on survival mode. Is that about right?
Yeah.
That does not feel good, does it? Like, at all?
No, no. And I feel like it's one of those things where I've done it since COVID, to be honest. And
Oh,
it's like one of those things where um it has its good times and it's had its bad times. But I feel like the longer you do something, I know you're gonna get what I'm saying. The longer you do something, you're just like, okay, now this kind of works. But it's not necessarily where I want to be.
well,
And
so yes, you took a personal transaction and now it's turning into a business transaction where you guys are literally coexisting in order to make sure that bills are paid. So
correct.
yes, you're starting to become desensitized to an actual relationship built off of love, support, and encouragement. And it comes to, we just both need to be able to survive right now. So since that's the case, we're just going to stay together. It's
Yeah.
tough. Yep,
Yeah.
that's tough. So
And
I
I
know
feel like
that.
not being me, and I've talked to like doctors and different things, and I feel like not being me, you're a complete stranger. You just hit the nail on the head exactly how I feel.
Yeah, 100%. I've been there, right? So am I there now? No, I got fortunate and married a woman that really wants to support me and provide, right? But it's different when you have two people with the same idea of what a relationship is all about, right? Like supporting one another, making sure each one lives to the best of their abilities, right? It's very difficult to be in the situation where you're currently at. But at the same time, this should also give us some momentum or some encouragement to make moves where we don't have to be in this. Because if we continuously just stay comfortable in it, nothing's going to change, right? It's going to be a perpetual cycle. You might have one or two good days. There might be some false sense of hope that things could get better. And then you're just prolonging the inevitable, right? So instead, we need to pivot and we need to make a game plan to where you can see yourself being successful, right? How do we feel about this so far?
Yeah. Yeah. I
Okay.
mean, you're right. So that's kind of where my brain is. And it's like I feel like I need the confidence to know like I can do it alone. Like
100%.
that's
So the beautiful thing about our course is you are not alone. So yes, is this your own business? Yes. But you'd have an assigned one-on-one coach that guides you through the steps. Clearly we're in a new space, right? I'm assuming, since you kind of just gave me a rundown, do you have any current certifications, anything like that? Have you had any like background in training or anything?
no, all my other certifications have been like like a CNA, like different stuff like that. Like I just got done being an RBT, which is just a registered behavior therapist. So
Okay.
different stuff like that. Like I've had lots of different things, but non as in direct fitness, nutrients, that kind of thing.
Right. So it sounds like you tried your hand in a multitude of different positions, trying to figure out what's going to be really like fit for you and like what your true passions are. And so far, we haven't found that. But what we do know is that you're passionate about your kiddo. You love the shit out your kiddo. You want to be home for your kiddo. And more importantly, we probably know at this point in time, since we tried so many different jobs, 9 to 5 just ain't for us, right?
Right. Right. I think, well, and I think like I think, I've worked with, okay, so I worked with 6 years with children with disabilities.
Yeah.
That's where I shine. Like I know it sounds screwy, but I shine. Like I love those kiddos. I don't want those kiddos to ever feel like, like, oh, that's a hard bargain for parents, let alone knowing that those parents are now like, oh, I've got to turn this kid that I have that special needs loose to somebody else so I can take a break. Like the mentality. So that's what I've done. So I do know like that is where I feel like that's one of the places I shine. Like I know that's one of my places. Now the few other jobs I've had, yeah, you got that ahead. I'm like, this is not for me. I know it's not for me. I just don't want to fucking do it.
Yeah. So it sounds like to me, if you worked with kids with special needs and you loved it, it means you have a high level of patience and empathy, right? Those are all great attributes you're going to be needing to be a successful coach. Now, the people that are going to be very successful encompass the 3 C's. Okay. You got to be coachable, you got to be committed, and you got to be consistent. Okay. So coachable, it means receiving feedback, pivoting, following through with those instructions, not feeling like you're being attacked, but like look at it with an open perspective. And they're just knowing they're trying to get you better and get you to a spot where you want to be. Okay. Committed means no matter what the day is looking like, we're going to follow through with the game plan, right? There's going to be days where you're not going to want to do shit. It happens to all of us. But every day it's that conscious decision to take action. That's what committed means. Consistent, doing things day in and day out like a normal routine, just like brushing your teeth, right? Like this is something that has to be done in order to get us out of the current predicament that we're in. So that doesn't just mean in a negative, bad predicament. It means, hey, maybe you're at a point where you're making good money, but now I want to make more. Now I want to develop a different lifestyle for my kiddo. What's it going to take for me to get there? And how committed and consistent will I do in order to make sure that happens? Do you feel like you encompass those 3 C's?
I definitely feel like coachable, yeah, because I've had to have those conversations with some kids in the past, to be there to be like a mentor to them. I feel like the very last one that you said is pretty much kind of how I feel. And I feel like that's me just as a person struggling with having insomnia, just knowing like, okay, like I've got to do this regardless, and having that routine that I have right now, to help me with that. So I get that.
Okay. So sounds good so far. So what do you feel like online coaching is going to give you as an individual? Are we looking for financial freedom? Are we looking for flexibility? What is it you feel like you can actually get out of this?
Um, I want the flexibility. So, what I mean by that is so that, for example, like if I do have a shitty night where I don't sleep, knowing that like I can still do my job, I might be able to change the flexibility I have within that to company that day. And knowing that like the next night, like, yeah, I might be able to sleep better, then I might be able to go and hit it harder,
Yeah.
the following day. So I feel like that's one of my things. And then also just like I said, being accessible to do things with my child when the time arrives. So I would probably say that still falls under flexibility. So I mean,
It's all good. Good. I like that so far. Excellent. So what do you feel like is going to be the biggest challenge to get this to happen for you?
well, that's what I was trying to ask them last night, like cost, and then just having I don't want to say commitment, but just the confidence, since it's something new, since it's something I don't know, since it's something I have to go through and, do that, just having that confidence to be like, okay, yes, this is, a good fit for me, and knowing that it's a good fit for me beforehand. So yeah.
That's a great question slash, perspective that you're giving me. There's a lot of individuals that come in that know they want to do something different, and you're right, it's completely new. So it should be fucking scary to you. If it's not, something's wrong with you, right? There should be a little bit of nervousness, a little bit of like anxiety behind it. This is a big deal because you're essentially making a completely different career change, right? But if it's a career change, it's going to get us to the life that we really want. Think of the opposite side of how amazing this could be. So I want you to think back of certain times in your life where you completed something and you thought at one point in time, there's no way I'm getting through this shit. I don't even know how I'm going to do it, but you ended up doing it, right?
Right.
So I want you to think of those times and apply it to this, right? So yes, is it brand new? Is it scary? Yes. Is confidence going to be an issue? We have mindset courses. We have weekly mindset calls as well that we help with. So you're going to love this. We actually do mindset calls, breath work, and meditation sessions to ensure you're in a good headspace to move forward with your business. Because entrepreneurship, it's fun, it's exciting, but it is overwhelming as fuck, right? Like knowing that you are completely responsible for the level of success or lack thereof falls completely on your shoulders, right? But at the same time, that should give us a little bit of encouragement because there's no one else that can hold us back. It's not a boss, it's not another coworker. It's literally how much work that we are willing to put in. So you got to think about yourself and say, here is, you know what? Am I scared? But am I going to allow this fear to hold me back from my true potential? More importantly, hold my child back from the life that they should be having. What are your thoughts on that?
I couldn't hear you. I'm sorry, you froze. I was trying to move my phone.
What part did you last hear?
About child. That's what I
Yeah,
heard.
so the main focus is that there's going to be times where you're nervous because it's going to happen regardless, right? You just got to make sure you got to put that fear aside and be like, am I so fearful that I'm willing to hold back my child from having the life that they deserve, right? So if you can't do it necessarily for yourself every day, do it for your kiddo, right? Essentially, you want to be the reason why they're thriving. You want to provide that level of security and that foundation for them, correct?
Right.
So at this point in time, from like a 1 to a 10, how much of this is a priority for you and your child?
I want to say right now, like I'm at probably a 7, because like it's something that I have thought about. It's something that I have questions, and that's kind of, I feel like that's why I found myself going to the website, like seeing it on Instagram, and then watching multiple videos about it. So
it sounds like you've been doing your due diligence. It looks like you've been researching a little bit, right? It looks like you've been looking into seeing what we're about for quite some time. What else have you been doing? Have you looked into any like certifications? Have you researched any other companies? Have you looked at what online training actually is?
I've looked up a few things, and I think that's like one of my big thing is like what online coaching completely consists of. But I have looked up a few things, and I think what started it was, I'll be honest with you, I'm a big keto junkie on different things, and then like the yoga, the meditation. But I think what the big thing was, it was also is like knowing like there's a spiritual aspect. So I have went that way and looked for it. And then so like I literally was like, okay, let me go to the other aspect as in health, and let me look at it. And that's where I ran across the Instagram last night, and was like, kind of listening to some of the testimonies that was on there, and stuff like that. And then obviously someone had a conversation with me. So
Yeah, 100%. So it sounds like you've actually done some, research. You've been kind of probing around, trying to figure out if this could really be in alignment with you, right? Again, the main thing is if you do decide to move forward, we're going to have multiple touch points with you, ongoing support. So it's not like you're just left in the dark by yourself. We literally hold people's hands through this whole process. We don't expect
okay.
everyone to be completely coherent. Most of the people that come to us, They don't have a whole lot of experience, which is awesome, right? That should give you a little bit of like motivation behind this. Like, hey, I'm not the only one. You're not alone in this. A lot of people don't have any type of training experience ever. They just realized or understood what they feel like health and fitness can do for them, and they want to share that with somebody else. They want to provide a program that someone else has been looking for. So we kind of help you figure out what that ideal niche is going to be for you. Like, what problem are you going to solve for individuals, right? It could be maybe you're trying to come up with a program for single moms or moms going under a significant amount of stress. There's different things that we can help guide you to, and then we just show you exactly how to maximize on those opportunities. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool.
So like everyone can kind of twerk it their own way.
100%. There is no right or wrong way to do things. The main thing we're going to show you how to do is to develop your own business, help you build up your own brand, and more importantly, help you customize a program specifically tailored for your ideal clients, right? Not
Okay.
everybody wants to be a personal trainer, totally fine, right? Not everyone wants to be a nutritional expert, but however, if we have those general guidelines and that general understanding, you will be able to market to a larger demographic of people. The more people that we can help, the more people that we impact, the more we can also get compensated for our efforts, right?
Okay.
Cool. So what do you feel like you would need from a coach or a mentor?
Oh, I would say a lot. Like I would say I'd want to know the ins and outs and have someone, I mean, be there to like you said, I don't want to say hold my hand, but guide me and, lead me, I guess, in the right direction.
Yeah, so you want a blueprint, you want a structured guideline. If you felt like you had that and you had an individual that you could contact, right, and ask as many questions as you like, do you feel like that would be the type of thing that you'd be looking for? Whereas like if this is just a structured program that says execute this, do you think that you could do that? You could follow instructions?
Yeah, I feel like that would be a strong yes, and a strong, like, if I knew I had someone I could call and say, hey, this is where I'm at. Can you help me? What do I do from here?
Yeah,
Kind of thing.
100%. So earlier you mentioned you were making about 22 to 23 dollars an hour. Where would you like to see yourself making best case scenario?
I would probably say right now, right off bat, like either that or just double. Like I'd be happy with, I mean, with that, if that was the case, today.
Yeah.
That's what I would say.
So
Um,
industry averages are between 250 on the very low end a month per client up to 500. Okay. So let's just say you were charging $300 for services. If you had 10 clients, there goes 3,000 in 1 month. See how it happens? It happens that quick. And all we just need to do is that you don't have to have a large following. Just have to have people that feel like they can resonate with you. What you're presenting to them talks to their ideal pain points, right? So as an example, I'll market to men 35 to 50 that are high level executives. So think about that. What do 35-year-old to 50-year-old men that are high level, what type of problems do they have? So clearly they're probably a beast in the office, but when you're so obsessed with work, you're more neglectful towards your family and your wife. Okay. So what do men thrive on, especially in that age? Money, power, sex, right? So I'm already speaking their language. So if you're at the office so much that you're never home with your wife and kids, your wife starts to resent you. If your wife resents you, she doesn't want to get intimate with you. And if you're not there for your kids don't care how much money you bring in because they're not there to get a piece of you. They don't understand. They want your time. They don't want your money. Right. So I teach
right.
men how to get sustainable habits to be more present in their family life, but still be able to have a balance of running a very successful business. So typically men like that also have very poor eating habits because they're either, going out to eat quite a bit or they're showing around different type of clientele. So how can I start building these successful, healthy habits to become the man they were meant to be, not just the man they are at the office? Okay. So flipping that on for you, who would you want to ideally, serve? We actually help you figure that out. Okay. We help you
Okay.
dial it down. Is that starting to make a little bit more sense for you?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay. So next what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen. But before I do, I know right now you wanted that flexibility, you wanted that freedom, right? You also wanted a little bit of financial freedom as well. So flexibility and freedom, it means something different to every single person, right? What does that look like and mean to you?
I think well, my why would be, um, it kind of looks like where I know what my week's gonna look like. I know what I'm gonna do for that week. I know, um, if something was to come up, like I told you, like if I wasn't, didn't sleep well, I know like, okay, maybe I can scale this back and, flip things around for a little bit or start later than earlier. Those kinds of things. Knowing that if for example, pretty much just like giving like as when you work paycheck to paycheck, they always tell you as a kid, pay yourself first kind of thing.
Right.
That kind of thing. I want to leave myself cushion on what is acceptable for me. And whether that be like 2 hours cut out, for example, at the end of my day or beginning of my day for whatever reason to do doctor's appointments, my kid, whatever it would be. But I would still want to have that time as in, okay, I can work from, if we'll just say 9 to 3, this is my time. That's what I'm giving.
Yeah.
This is this kind of thing. Like that's kind of where my mind goes when you say flexibility, and having the flexibility to be like, okay, if this doesn't work today, that's fine. Then I can,
Yeah.
do that extra 2 hours that I normally have closed off. I can go a little longer kind of thing. Yeah.
100%. So it gives you the autonomy to go based upon circumstance to circumstance and adjust as needed, right?
Right.
So that's huge. That's important. But more importantly, it also allows you to not to have to depend on someone else that you're really can't depend on right now outside of financially, right?
Right.
So
Well,
my
and
question,
I think that's what also sucks, Jeremy, is because at this point in time, granted, like I know he knows me so well because I'm married to him, but he's the one I'm having to rely on and to help and to do things. And that's something like I told him. I'm the mom that normally like I deal with my kid and I've always dealt with my kid. But now with all of these health situations I've had, it's kind
yeah,
of like I literally feel like I'm just like, hey, he's yours too. Here you go. So
yeah.
yeah.
So basically you're like, hey, I'm going to need a little of assistance today. Normally I can take 90%. Today I'm asking you just to go a little, maybe 40 to 50 today, just to inconvenience you just a little bit. Right.
Yeah. Yes, yes, yes.
All right. So
Yeah.
women, you guys carry several hats, right? There's no question that women are a lot more proficient in a lot of areas than men, right? They have to be the one that's empathetic. They have to be the strong one. They're usually the ones schlepping the kids around everywhere from appointment to appointment to appointment. 100% agree with you right there. Okay. But it sounds like we're not only getting to the point where it gets frustrating, it's almost getting to a point of almost resentment when you do it long enough, right?
Right.
So my question to you is, how much longer are we willing to deal with this?
I don't know. That's my whole game thing. Like I guess I feel like I'm in a tornado right now with all the emotions and all the things that I'm just like, okay, I need to know where I'm going and I don't know where I'm going.
So that's my job today, is to provide you a sense of clarity, right? I already feel like we've already started tapping into a little bit of a breakthrough. I think by just seeing your mannerisms, you're like, oh shit, there is a little bit of light. I might be able to crawl out of this hole, right?
Right.
So next what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen with you. We're going to go over a very brief presentation, and we're actually going to dive into all things NLCA, okay? At the end of
Okay.
this, if you're feeling 100% confident about everything, we'll talk about possible next steps. At the end of it, you're like, you know what? Thank you, but this ain't for me. No big deal. At least at the end of this, we had a learning experience. We understood what's for you and what's not. Cool?
Cool.
All right. I'm going to share my screen. Let me know when you can see it, and we'll party for a little bit.
Okay.
All right. So as you know, we're the Next Level Coaching Academy. We're actually accredited through the Better Business Bureau. We got a rating of an A out of a possible A+, which is pretty significant when you're trying to figure out who's legit in this space and who's not. We're also backed by 3 of the largest providers in the for certifications in the United States: ACE, NASM, and ISSA. Now, on the success ladder, we have 2 tiers. We've got certified coach, we've got mastery. Certified coach is great for an individual such as yourself who's trying to make a transition. They're trying to figure out what they're truly passionate about, and they know health and fitness is a part of that. They also might need a certification, which we provide. The information in this course can get us from 0 up to 20K per month in as little as 6 months, if so desired. Mastery levels for individuals who've already been coaching for quite some time. They're already at 20K a month. They're looking to scale to 7 figures. They're kind of removing themselves from the coaching aspect and becoming more of a CEO of their own program, if that makes sense. So really where we're currently at, we're really going to focus on the certified coach aspect. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Beautiful. The program itself is going to be 6 months long. Our main focal point is to get you a successful, thriving business off the ground. We're going to help you become a marketing guru. So we make sure we're attracting the right type of clients, which will bring us the right type of sustainable income. And we'll even teach you how to make your first couple hires so we can scale past those initial goals. As far as the support goes, I mentioned this earlier, you're going to have an assigned one-on-one coach the entire duration of your 6 months. This is an individual who's completed both certified and mastery level. So in order for them to be a coach, they actually had to complete both. And the information in this course got them to a 6 or 7 figure business of their own, which you would have a customized game planning call with to really review where you want to get to and the most efficient way to get there. You'll have private one-on-one coaching calls every 2 weeks to revisit the game plan, make any necessary changes, receive feedback, and then get very specific instructions on what they'd want you to execute for the upcoming weeks. 5 times a week of group support calls. This will cover client objection handling, client delivery, marketing, sales, lead generation, you name it, we deep dive into it. You'll have 24/5 tech support. So outside of those game planning calls, you can text your coach as much as you like. They're contractually obligated to answer all of your questions. Then right here is the one I was telling you about. I think you're really going to love. We have called the Zenpreneur method, and this is helping individuals who are becoming entrepreneurs, deal with the challenges. So we help with weekly mindset calls, breath work, and meditation sessions. So something I think that you truly get a lot of value out of. As far as the resources go, you'll have the certified coach course curriculum. You'll have the Zenpreneur method that we just got done discussing. We'll give you agency outsourcing options when you're ready to make specific hires or upgrades. And we even offer an optional certification at no additional cost. Okay, any questions on that so far?
Nope.
All right, program itself is going to be 59 total modules. Each module will have an overview link that you can read. It'll also be a custom with videos. The first thing that we want to focus on is how we get your first client in 21 days or less. This is what we call our activation point. Right now, 73% of our students get their client in month 1. On average, it's taking them just 1 week. Okay, the individuals that get their first client in month 1 by the end of month 4 are averaging 8K per month. It's crazy, right? Now, the individuals that don't get their first client in month 1 by the end of month 4 are averaging 6,500. So just to be an average student, you can expect to make by the end of month 4, 6,500 to 8K, which is drastically more than what you were currently making previously. So that's really good numbers. Certified Coach Directory, I want you to view this as onboarding material that help you become a better student. The success roadmap takes you by 0 to 5K increments on what you need to do to reach certain levels of success. So from 0 to 5K, 5 to 10, 10 to 15, 15 to 20, what do you need to execute? All comes with videos as well, so you always know what to do. Certification aspect is equal parts fitness, equal parts nutrition. You got your basics, your micros, your macros, how to build a healthy plate. Then we move into hot topics on social media, such as reverse dieting. Another cool one is introduction of blood work, supplementation, and hormones. The second half of it is the art of coaching, communication styles, programming design, programming variables. There would be a final test. The test is 77 questions long. Got to get an 80% or better. It's open book. It's not timed. You can take it as many times as you like. Once you pass, you receive your certification. Any questions on that?
Nope.
All right. Next, we move into the mindset and lifestyle module. Just we want to ensure you're in a good headspace. So you mentioned right here, confidence can be an issue, right? Imposter syndrome, fear of failure, anxiety, all natural, normal feelings. But we show you how we can move past that to move forward with your business. We've also identified the top 10 struggles that fitness entrepreneurs will face, but we've provided solutions to that. Target setting, we're going to create your 3-year vision, your 1-year vision, your 3-month vision. Administration system is going to be all the software you need to run from home to have an effective business. So setting up waiver Stripe for payments, DocuSign for client agreements, Typeform Calendly to book calls. To give you some context on the overview links, you just click on this. Each module will have one. It'll tell you in written tutorial style on exactly what to do step by step. Okay. Now, if that wasn't enough for you, our videos also show you what to do step by step. So let's say you're going to set up waiver for payments. So same thing for financial systems as well. We'll show you how to set up your LLC, tell you when to get your employment identification number and when to open up a business bank account, how to pay quarterly taxes, how to pay yourself, examples of business write-offs, business liability insurance, health insurance, you name it. We cover it for you, zero guesswork. Okay. Then we move into identifying your ideal challenge. This again is what problem does your program solve for individuals? Once we can figure that out, we can then create our pricing around this. So this is going to be a more do it for you, do it with you, or do it yourself program. The more that you do for individuals, the higher the ticket offer, which will be established upon the length of term. So we help you create this, the structure of your high pricing offer, as well as your overall business. We help you teach, create downsells and discounts when applicable as well. In marketing, this is like a big one for a lot of people. We're gonna give you 8 different lessons to really maximize your basic marketing capabilities, because we're gonna show you how to market for all things Instagram related. We'll show you how to market for all things Facebook related, and we'll even show you how to maximize a market for all things TikTok related as well. Have you ever heard of Canva?
Nope.
If you've ever seen pictures like this is what they call infographics. Just a great way to professionalize your content, make your page look more aesthetically pleasing. So we show you how to maximize this application so that way you can have more professionalized looking content. From there, we're going to move into lead generation. There's 6 different ways we create leads. The first of which is what we call earned media. We'll give you 11 strategies to bring more people specifically to you. Then we move into conversation and calls, which is outbound marketing. So like, I want you to think of like you reaching out to individuals first. We'll give you specific scripts. We'll give you conversation and call examples, but more importantly, we'll show you where to find all these leads on all 3 platforms, how to build and nurture these relationships. Referral strategies, the easiest way to grow your business, friends, families, coworkers, talking about how amazing you are and the benefits that you've provided them. We're gonna give you 6 different lessons to incentivize more people to bring you more referrals. Then when you're hitting about 6K per month, we're gonna teach you how to bring on an appointment setter. This would be the individual that does all of your DMing and booking all of your calls. This would save you 10 to 15 hours per week. When you're hitting about 8 to 10K per month, we're going to teach you, oops, sorry about that. When you're hitting about 8 to 10K per month, we're going to teach you how to bring on an appointment, or geez, I went over myself. 8 to 10K a month, you're going to teach you how to run ads on Facebook and Instagram. So we'll show you exactly what you need to do to maximize your business in this area. So once you're starting to run ads, this is when business really starts taking off, okay? From there, we've got owned media. This is all things email or subscription-based marketing. So think like Facebook groups, YouTube, podcasts, things of that nature. We will show you how to maximize that and bring you in more clients. See, from there, certified coach affiliate strategy. At this point in time, you'd have quite a few clients, but you'll have a handful that you consider like your rock star A+ students. We want to use them and have them post on their social media about you to bring in more brand awareness. We also want to utilize them as brand ambassadors so they can talk about the transformations they've had. So we'll show you exactly how to maximize that resource. And then we go into sales and overview fundamentals. So we want to make sure you have 10 different lessons to really maximize your sales capabilities, because we're going to set up 2 types of phone calls. The first is a meet and greet. It's a 10 to 15 minute phone call to figure out if you really want to work with this person, can you actually solve their problem? So we'll give you specific show rate protocols and real-time examples with our coaches, which will bring us to our closing call. This is when you're trying to lock down the lead. This is when you're trying to do a lot of objection handling. We'll give you our entire objection handling web. We'll teach you how to create downsells and discounts. We'll even teach you how to create financing options, which will be a game changer for you. This is ideal for someone that wants to join your program but can't afford it. Then again, we show you how to really lock that down for good. Once you get the sale, we want to track your progress. We want to make sure there's predictable data each month. We'll give you 7 different resources to track that. And then the onboarding process is the process between you made the sale, you got their money, but now you're building out their program. So what happens in the meantime? Okay. So it's like their first 30 days in your program. Then client delivery is the fun stuff, the week-to-week process and how you're delivering services, making sure your program's smooth, efficient, easy to understand, creating a customized roadmap for each individual to really show like their strengths and areas of weaknesses that we're going to help overcome. And then this will happen to you no matter how good you are. People are going to ghost you. They're going to quit. They're not going to listen. It's inevitable, right? But we want to make sure we understand why this is. Because if we do, we can get them back on track. A lot of times when they're not following through, it's because they want a larger community base. They want more touch points with you. They want challenges. They want to just be able to talk to other people that's in your tribe. Some of them just want to get incentivized to do what's already expected of them. So we give you resources and strategies to bring that to life for them. Then customer support's the not so fun side of things, cancellations, refund requests. How can we mitigate these issues for the upcoming months? And then from there, we have retention module. We want to keep people for long periods of time, but advance them to higher levels of your programming. So we teach you retention strategies and how to track that. And then when you're hitting about 10 to 12K per month, we'll teach you how to bring on a virtual assistant. This will be the person that does all of your back-end administration work. So we'll show you how to hire them. We'll show you how to manage them. We'll even give you resources on how to track their level of efficiency. And we'll give you our resources on where to find them if and when you want to make that hire. Last major hire, when you're hitting about 12 to 15K per month, we need to think about bringing on your first assistant coach. This would be the individual that does they work directly underneath you. They take on their own clients, but you get paid a portion of that. So whoever you bring on, they need to match your values, your goals, your company tenets, because essentially they represent you. So we'll teach you how to manage them on a day-to-day basis and keep them in line with your company vision. I did a ton of talking. We're gonna do a quick recap and we'll answer any questions you got. Cool?
Cool.
All right, program 6 months. You'll have your customized game planning call. You're gonna have a one-on-one coach the entire 6 months. You're gonna have one-on-one coaching calls every 2 weeks. You'll have a private Facebook community and CEO trainings, 5 times a week of group support calls, 24/5 tech support, the certification, and the business course curriculum. Is there anything you feel like we're missing here?
No.
How are we feeling about it now? Now that you kind of got to see everything, what are our thoughts on this?
I want to say doable, but like I'm so scared of like price wise, like that's what I'm scared of. And just knowing that like I love that knowing like if I was to do this, that I have someone there and things are accessible for me
Yeah.
to like not I don't want to say dummy proof, but pretty much kind of like dummy proof.
Oh, it is dummy proof for sure. I did it, so I know you can do it. Huh.
So yeah.
Cool. So let's talk about that, right? Pricing, we're going to get to that, but let me tell you this. If all it comes down to is pricing, if that's the only thing that's holding you back, we have different options, right? We have extended payment plans, we have financing options. So no matter where you're at, if this is something that you truly feel like can impact your life, but more importantly, impact your child's and other people's lives, that's the easiest thing for me to work around. And I can help you out with that. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, because like I told them last night, I was like, well, just like right now, like I have no income. And
Yeah.
that's why I felt like I kept saying like, hey, I'm like, I feel like this is where I'm at, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And not being mean, they just kept saying, let you talk to someone.
Right. 100%. At the end
So
of the day, we have ways around this, okay? Which we're going to get to here in a second. Did you get a chance to check out any testimonials? I know that you've been on our page quite a bit, but did you get a chance to check out any testimonials?
just like a couple, like I got to watch I think one that was like a nurse and I think a few others. But I didn't get to like dive completely deep because not being mean, like then I was like, hey, what made you want to, and I just started
Yeah.
having this conversation. So
I'm
yeah,
going to
that's
share
kind
just
of where
two
we're
with you that I think that you'll be able to resonate with, okay? So this is Karina. Karina was making about 2K a month and she had 2 kiddos. Her whole goal was to travel and spend time with her kids. That's all she wanted, okay? So this first tattoo indicates when she started NLCA. Bottom tattoo indicates when she quit her job. After 6 months, she was hitting 10 to 12K months on a regular basis. She's now hitting 15K months. She's working 30 to 35 hours per week tops, and she's traveling and spending all sorts of time with her kids. She's living her best life, okay? The other one that you mentioned, the nurse, this is probably the one you saw, Lacey. She had negative 8381 in her bank account. She was a nurse during COVID, going through a nasty divorce, had 2 kids. She ended up getting really creative and got a business loan. She ended up enrolling with NLCA. 6 months later, she was hitting 10K months, and now she's actually one of our mindset coaches. So you'll love her. Okay. How are we feeling about that so far? Good?
yeah.
All right, cool. Averages. People are quitting their job in just 10.6 weeks to start on their own full on-time online fitness business on average. Right now, the students who stay with us 12 months have 97 clients on their roster on average. So those 97 clients are typically averaging about 366,000 per year when you have 97 clients. That's insane. And then our students are grading the program a 4.5 out of 5 on average, which means they're getting massive results for their respectable businesses. Any questions on that?
No.
Okay, how are we feeling? We liking it? We loving it? Are we feeling more aligned with it?
Yeah, like I keep leading a little bit more and a little bit more. Just because I don't know, I just feel like that's good stats.
So they're great stats, right? And you want to be a part of that. I know you do. But more importantly, you want to be a part of something that's going to help you out of your current circumstance. And then more importantly than that, your kiddo deserves this, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. So before we move forward to the financial piece, again, there's going to be a payment plan or a paid in full option. Okay. No matter what those numbers say, because you've been very honest with me, very transparent, that, you know, finances are a struggle. We'll get through that together. Okay. Do not worry about that. There's no point to worry or have anxiety over something we don't even know the answers to yet. Right. So I will
Right.
work through that with you. Cool. Now, before we move forward, again, what is the main motivation and what will this give for you in order to be an online coach? Like, what will this do for you and your family?
I feel like freedom
Okay.
is one of the words that come to me. Um, Peace.
Peace. I love
Um,
that. That's great.
uh, just like having, I want to say freedom and peace, like just knowing like there's peace of mind, there's peace that you don't have to, you know, worry about how this is going to work out for you when, like I told you, I wouldn't have to, completely worry about how something's going to go down. How's this day at work going to go? Like that, I would already pretty much know like, hey, I've planned this. This is, and then have peace of mind and going in it and knowing that this is where I'm at.
Yeah. So peace is a very powerful word, right? Peace means you have the power to dictate your own outcomes,
Right.
right? So this is a situation now to where you have regained power and control. It's literally up to the amount of consistent effort that you put in. What you put in is what you get out, right? Which is awesome when we're talking on the phone, but it's scary as shit when all of a sudden it's on you, right? So now
Right.
we have to make sure that, yes, this is exactly what I want to do. This is exactly in alignment, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to get me and my child out of this predicament. And more importantly, just think about it. Close your eyes for 2 seconds and think about what it would be like to have your own spot, no arguments, no stress, no one to tell you what to do. When you work for somebody else, you got to put in a 2-week notice before you go on vacation. You got to ask to take a piss. You got to do that anymore, right? This also aligns with our current medical conditions. Hey, we had a rough night, we didn't get sleep. We can afford to sleep in because we can just make up that time whenever we want, right? Beautiful. All right, let's talk about the price. Ready?
Yeah.
All right, it's only $100,000 in your left kidney. I'm playing. No, there's a payment plan of $7,500 and a paid in full option of $6,800 that saves you $700. Out of those two, which do you think works best for you?
What did you say the last one was?
A paid in full is $6,800
Oh,
and it saves you $700. Out of those two, which do you think works best for you?
I would say probably I'd probably have to go with the payment plan.
Yeah, cool. I do what 95% of people do. So let's talk about that. Real quick first, let me ask you this. How good's our credit? Great, poor, bad, awesome? What does it look like?
Oh, I don't know because like everything, probably not good. I'm gonna say that just because everything is in his name.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
so a majority, like I think when I was 18, our home is the only thing that's been, I think, in both of our names. Um, so I feel like that to me, like, I mean, my name's probably, linked to his on some other things, but for majority, I just know from before COVID when we went to separate, like my name off of his truck and his name off of my car. The only thing left is our house, but just knowing that, like, I realized that I didn't have much credit endured just because of my own, just because mine was linked to his kind of thing on our home.
Yeah, 100%. I get that. Cool. So what we do have is we have a third-party financing company called SweetPay. And what this allows us to do is take that 75 and spread it out over 12 months, okay, versus 6. So that means significantly less down and significantly less reoccurring. So to give you an example, it's 5% down of 7,500, which is like equivalent to about 375, 377, plus a one-time $59 service activation fee. So to get started today, it would be 434. Okay. Your next payment wouldn't be due until the end of May. Your monthly payment would be roughly about $640 per month, which is equivalent to you needing about 2 clients per month to make that up. Do you feel like that's something you can commit to?
I can't. I have no money. So that's like that's my big thing.
Yep, totally get that. Now, kind of going into that, because let's just get resourceful. Let's think of things that we can do in order to get money. Like, have you ever like done like any Uber or driving, like anything like that, Uber Eats or anything like that?
I have not. I
Okay.
have not.
It could just be a quick temporary fix just to get us in the door so you can start building towards something. Even if there's something at the house that you could sell. Another option is to looking into possible personal loans. Might be an option that your bank might help you out with. So you'll just ask about a personal loan. That's always an option as well to get you under the, get you out of the rough patch. Not guaranteed that it'll always go through, but it's worth and it's worth asking, right? Contacting your bank and
Right.
finding out. Do you have any other family or people that are willing to help support you?
Um, I would probably say no.
Okay, so
No.
so you're
No.
pretty much all out on your own right now, right?
Yeah, I would say yes. And I think that's what um has got me pretty much in my feelings about how things are, is just because I know, like, I know it's gonna sound fucked up, but I think you'd understand. It's like being in a relationship and knowing this is the relationship I've been with for like for a long, long time, and then knowing like we know there's differences, but then I don't have anyone else to turn to. Like,
Yeah.
if that makes completely sense. And I feel bad because um we've both lost a parent in the way.
Mm,
And it's one of those things where um we just know we're by ourselves. Like whether
yes.
we're together, we're by ourselves, or whether we divorce and we're by ourselves.
Yeah, 100%. That's tough. Okay, cool. So what I suggest us do is try to figure out other ways that we can at least start generating a little bit of income, whether that's
Okay.
something part-time-ish, whether that's, working remote from doing something that maybe necessarily we're not passionate about, but just a like little bit of side income, anything just to get us like rolling a little bit, right?
Okay.
Is Uber Eats the ideal? No, but you can get like a couple $100 in a night, essentially, right? Like just really I'm not saying that you have pride, but putting our egos or pride aside to do what's necessary.
I would say ego. You keep using they use ego next time. Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's what it is.
essentially putting that aside and being like, you know what? I don't want to do this, but I know it's necessary for me to like get out of the predicament I'm in. Right.
Right.
So I think that you told me this, but I think, was it January was the last time that you were working?
So yeah, that's my like that was my full-time job.
Uh-huh.
So and then I was off, like my doctors wanted me off for a while, um, just to try to get my sleeping in check,
Yeah.
with stuff. And I did that, and then I'll be honest with you, I was like, "Oh shit, you know what? I've took my whole big check that I have from my last job, and I've applied it to all my bills that I needed." And so I was like, "Oh crap, like I'm gonna need to go get a job. Like I needed to go do something. I need to try this." So when I had my doctor's appointment with my sleep doctor, I said, "Hey, is this a good idea for me to do?" And he's like, "Well, you're not gonna know unless you try it. So try it." So literally went back to work for a few weeks and it didn't pan out. Like I
Yeah.
literally was
Yeah.
like, okay, I'm not sleeping.
Yeah.
I'm not doing this. And so I feel like I felt like really defeated. I'll be honest. The word
Yeah.
was defeated. I felt like crap, but I felt defeated. I was tired as heck and was like, this is what I gotta do. I gotta get up and I gotta go. Um, so I feel like with that, it was an eye opener that, like I told you earlier, this is probably not for me. This is probably not going to be the avenue I need to take to continue this. Um, but also taking me down different paths of like, what else can I do that I want to enjoy doing and helping people that I can have the freedom that I need.
Yeah. For sure.
Um, so I feel like that's where I'm at, and knowing that, so this whole week I've been back at home since leaving that job because they're like, listen, you have insomnia. They were a hospital, so granted they already knew, but they're
Yeah.
like,
For
listen,
sure.
that's not a good thing. Um, so I'm currently back at home, and so that's why I'm like, listen, there's got to be something that I can do for myself too.
Yeah. 100%. Do you think that your husband now would be in support of you, like helping you out and helping contribute to this since everything's in his name?
Well, that's a thought that I had, Chad, or uh Jeremy, because I was like, listen, he talked about, I showed him this last night and we kind of talked about it. I was like, I think this is something that you would do. And he's like, I actually talked to someone because we're in Indiana. And he says, I talked to someone not that far away. He says, but he never got back with me. He's like, so I didn't know if it was like a scam, not a scam, what? Um, so I don't know, like that would be interesting because that's what I thought. I thought, okay, if I started with him,
Yeah.
do you know what I'm saying? And
So
then
you could
do
easily
it.
start it with them, and even if worst case scenario, you guys separated or divorced, you can still run your own, you can still run a business together, but from separate areas, right? Or you can just run your own thing, period. Like me and my wife run our business together, right? So you could do that. And then essentially he's just running his own type of clientele. You're running your own type of clientele. So if he's more health and fitness and you're more meditation and yoga, holistic development, you could easily do that, right? But if you're going to have that conversation with them, I wouldn't go up to him and be like, hey, I found this awesome program. It's $8,000. I'd say, hey, remember that program I was talking to you about? I actually had a phone call with them. And right now I know our current income is XYZ. And we could actually average this. So you've known for a while I've been struggling. I've been looking for something that can help us get on top of things. I think this would be an option that could benefit the both of us, you know, especially if he would have course access to it as well. So you guys, we could do it to where we set up to 2 different emails so you guys both have access to it. But say, you know, I'm looking for your support, not your permission. I feel like we're both in a spot to where we need to take action to get out of this current circumstance because we've been in it for far too long. And what I can do is I can send over like a condensed presentation of exactly what everything looks like with the guarantee so he can kind of see it himself. And then if that's something that you guys want to have a follow-up phone call with, you can totally text me and we'll get that arranged.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good.
Cool. Let's try that out.
Yeah,
So that's like
yeah.
our best option right now.
That is our best option right now. And that was what I was getting to tell you. For some reason, if I cannot do that today, is there a way, like, obviously I have your number,
Sure.
obviously,
Yeah.
but if there's a way like for me to get a job, that might not be what I really want to do.
Sure.
But then to have this saved up and then to be like, hey, Jeremy, here we go.
I'm
Like,
ready.
okay,
Yeah, 100%. 100% we can do that.
okay, cool. That makes me feel even flipping better about it then. Like,
Cool.
I'm so wound up.
Good. So what I'm gonna do is after I got one more call coming up here shortly, and then after that, I'll send you over the guarantees. I'll send you a picture of the client averages. I'll also send you like it's like a 10-minute video. Okay. So I know guys don't like to watch long shit. It's a 10-minute video. Okay. Boom. It hits the main points. So he gets to see exactly what's in it. And then after that, if he's like, okay, what was the cost again? You can be like, hey, this is something we're interested in. I'd rather you go over the cost with him and we can all jump on together so he can hear it from me. Because a lot of times, not to say that you won't have the right facts, but it's just the way it's presented and informed to them. Usually men are more open to hearing another man explain numbers and pricing. Men are very logical creatures. We're not very emotional. We all based off of logic. Cool.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah, we'll try it. So
What can happen? He says no. Oh, well.
yeah, that's it. So
Cool. All right, well, let's try that out. Shoot me a text tonight after the conversation. Tell me how it goes. Or maybe if he even wants like, hey, can I talk to him? We certainly can have him talk to me. It's not a problem.
okay.
All right.
All right. I got it. Thank you.
Yep. You have a phenomenal day.
You too. Thanks for your time. I appreciate it so much.
You got it. See ya.